Turkzilla by Colton. In the town of Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana. It's a lovely time to celebrate Thanksgiving. But after a barrel falls out of a truck bed, the barrel lands into the stream. And in the wilderness there's a turkey that drinks from that stream, then becomes radioactive and grows to the size of a giant monster. Now it's up to the Air Force to stop this creature from destroying their town. On the outskirts of Malmstrom, a truck appears speeding down the road. Gerald Stewart appears humming, then bobs his head. A turkey appears walking in the middle of the road. The truck is approaching. Gerald continues humming, then bangs onto the steering wheel. The turkey is looking around, then sees the truck getting closer. Gerald looks out the windshield, then sees the turkey. "Holy shit," said Gerald, turning the steering wheel. The truck drives around the turkey. The turkey gobbles, then walks away. The truck is driving down a dirt path. Gerald steps onto the brake. The truck stops. Barrels appear in the truck bed, then shift. The strap holding the barrels breaks. Gerald looks into the side mirror, nods his head, then smiles. The truck drives away. The barrels are shaking. The truck speeds up, then turns the corner. A barrel falls out of the truck bed, rolls down the hill, then lands into a stream. Radioactive liquid appears pouring out of the barrel, then into the stream. The stream is flowing. The turkey appears walking next to the stream, stops, looks around, then drinks the water from the stream. The truck continues driving, then stops at the gate. Cameron Doyle appears. "Morning, Gerald," said Cameron. "Morning, Doyle. Open the gate. I got some barrels filled with toxins in them," said Gerald. "I need to see your ID." Gerald hands his ID to Cameron. Cameron types onto the keyboard of the computer, then hands Gerald's ID back to him. "Have a good day," said Cameron. "Fuck off, Cameron," said Gerald. The gate opens. The truck drives through. The gate closes. The truck continues driving, then stops. "Hey Willard, where should I put this shit?" asked Gerald. "Put it down at the end, where all the other shit is. Then put the barrels with the others," said Willard. "All right." Gerald stops, then looks at Willard. Willard is smiling. "Very funny, prick." The truck drives away, parks behind the building, then turns off. The driver door opens, then shuts. Gerald sees the strap is broken. "Damn it," said Gerald. "Is something wrong, Gerald?" asked Sammy Morton, appearing. "Yeah, my strap is broken. Damn it. I really hope none of the barrels fell out," said Gerald. "I thought this stuff was going to the toxic section," said Sammy. "I thought I was at it," asked Gerald. "No, I meant like, where they bury other scrap like this," said Sammy. "Don't look at me. I just deliver the stuff," said Gerald, grabbing a barrel from the truck bed. Both Gerald and Sammy are carrying the barrel. "So, have you talked to your dad?" asked Sammy. "Not yet. He's still at the base," said Gerald. "Well, I think he'll make it for Thanksgiving," said Sammy. "Me too. Just as long as his new wife doesn't have plans," said Gerald. "I didn't know your dad remarried," said Sammy. "Yeah, to this bitch of a woman who only wants his money and nothing else," said Gerald. "Sorry about that, man. Hey, if he doesn't show, you could come with me. My parents make a great turkey," said Sammy. "That'll be plan B," said Gerald. Footsteps or approaching? "Gerald, you're wanted by Cameron," said Willard. "Oh, great. The gate god calls me," said Gerald, walking away. Cameron looks up, then sees Gerald approaching. "Gerald, I just received word. You picked up 6 barrels, correct? Asked Cameron. Yeah. So? Asked Gerald. Then why did a group of Air Force men just discover a barrel in the stream? Asked Cameron. Because a turkey got into the road. I swerved to avoid hitting it. Then I drove through some woods for a little bit. It must have fallen off, said Gerald. Cameron is writing onto a clipboard. I'm gonna have to call your father about this. See what your punishment should be, said Cameron. No, don't call my dad. He'll be very mad, said Gerald. I need to go by the code, said Cameron, grabbing the telephone receiver. How much? Asked Gerald. How much? What? Asked Cameron. Money to keep your mouth shut, asked Gerald. You can't bribe me. Bribing is against my code, said Cameron. How about this? You call, I break your fingers, said Gerald. Cameron looks at Gerald. Fine, you win. But if something like this happens again, I'll call, said Cameron. You're the best, Cameron, said Gerald, hugging then kissing Cameron's cheek. Don't do that again, said Cameron. Whatever you say, my friend, said Gerald. Walking away, Cameron wipes off his cheek. The stream appears. Gustavo Stokes and Susie Fleming appear standing in the stream, then try pulling out the barrel. I can't believe one of those rookies did this, said Gustavo. Me too. Whichever one did this needs to be taught a lesson, said Susie. I'm right there with you. All right, you come up and grab this side. I'll grab that side. Then we'll lift on 3. Both Gustavo and Susie are grabbing the barrel. 1, 2, 3, said Gustavo. The barrel is being lifted out of the stream, then carried towards the land. The ground starts thumping, then stops. Did you feel that? Asked Susie. Feel what? Asked Gustavo. The ground starts thumping again. That, said Susie. Yeah, I felt that. What the hell is that? Asked Gustavo. The thumping sound in the distance stops. It stopped. Whatever it was, it's gone now, said Susie. Yeah, all right. On 3. 1, 2. A golden brown liquid lands onto the barrel. What the hell is that? Asked Susie. The golden brown liquid burns through the barrel. Oh my God, that stuff is almost like acid, said Gustavo. Yeah, but where'd it come from? Asked Susie. Both Gustavo and Susie are looking around. I don't see anything. Maybe it was from a plane passing by, said Gustavo. Yeah, like it had some kind of leak. Okay, here we go, said Susie. Both Gustavo and Susie grab the barrel, then lift it up again. The barrel appears burnt. Oh God, how did this happen? Asked Gustavo. I don't know. Maybe that stuff was acid, said Susie. Had to be. All right, up we go, said Gustavo. Both Gustavo and Susie continue carrying the barrel out of the stream, then onto the land. There, that's taken care of. Anything else you want to do? Asked Susie. Yeah, stop by the rookie's playpen, said Gustavo. Both Gustavo and Susie start laughing. The ground starts thumping again. Both Gustavo and Susie look at each other. The trees are moving. Both Gustavo and Susie are looking around. The trees look like a shade of brown. The shade of brown starts moving. Both Gustavo and Susie open their eyes wider. A gigantic turkey appears, then roars. Oh my God, said Susie. Susie, run. Susie looks at Gustavo. The gigantic turkey bites Susie. Susie is screaming. Gustavo runs down the road. The gigantic turkey follows Gustavo. Gustavo runs his hands over his body, then pulls out a radio. Help! Help! Someone help me! Does anyone read me? Listen to me very carefully. I'm being chased. Bye, said Gustavo, being eaten. The gigantic turkey swallows Gustavo, then roars. A rumbling in the distance. The gigantic turkey turns its head, sees the base in the distance, then gobbles. Lowly, Gerald appears leaning against the building wall, then looks at a text message. And quote, Dear Gerald, sorry, but I won't be able to make it to Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. Vera wants to have dinner with her family. So, if you want to, you can come along with us. Or stay there. Your choice. Love, Dad. And quote. Gerald continues looking at the text message, goes to send a message, then deletes his whole message. Hey Harold, what are you doing? Asked Sammy. Nothing. Was just looking at some naked women, said Gerald. Sammy looks at Gerald. Are you sure? You're all right? Asked Sammy. I'm fine. Looks like Plan B will go in effect tomorrow, said Gerald. Walking away. Sammy sighs. Cameron is writing onto the clipboard again, then looks at the one TV screen. A figure walks past the camera. What was that? Asked Cameron, looking closer at the TV screen, then leans backwards. Willard appears. Cameron gets startled. Jesus, you scared the hell out of me, said Willard. Sorry, what are you doing? Asked Willard. I saw something move past the screen. It could have been nothing, said Cameron. Probably just a squirrel or bird, said Willard. Walking away. Yeah, maybe, said Cameron, looking at the TV screen again. The Air Force Base appears. Herman Stewart appears sitting behind a desk, knocking on the door. Vera Peters appears in the doorway. There's my hunk of man, said Vera. Hey baby. Herman stands up, then walks towards Vera. Both Herman and Vera are kissing. So, are you ready for Thanksgiving dinner with your folks? Asked Herman. Yeah, I am. I can't wait to tell them the news about us, said Vera. Yeah, your dad's gonna be pissed, won't he? Asked Herman. Depends, if he likes you or not, said Vera. But, I've already met him before, said Herman. Yeah, but he doesn't really remember a lot anymore, said Vera. He has Alzheimer's disease, doesn't he? Asked Herman. No, he just doesn't like to remember important things, said Vera, knocking on the door again. Glenda Lee appears. Sir, we just got a call from Gustavo. He sounded very worried. And we also were able to capture this too, said Glenda, pushing a button. And quote, help, help, can someone help me? And quote, does anyone read me? And quote, I'm being chased by, and quote, said Gustavo. A static sound on the recorder. Did he say, and quote, chased, and quote? Asked Herman. Yes, sir. We have a group of people going out there now to check it out, said Glenda. All right, Vera honey. Why don't you go home? I have some stuff to do here, said Herman. All right. Oh, can I have some money for shopping? Herman pulls out cash from his pocket, then hands it to Vera. Thanks honey, love you, said Vera, walking away. Gold digger, mumbled Glenda. All right, let's get to this spot. Tell Agnes we'll be there in a few minutes, said Herman. Walking away. Vera is walking towards a car. Take me to the closest clothing store. You know which one I like, said Vera. Yes, ma'am, said driver number 1, opening the back door, then shuts it. Driver number 1 walks around the car. The ground starts thumping. Driver number 1 stops. Come on, I don't have all day, said Vera. Yes, ma'am, said driver number 1, getting into the driver's seat. The car starts, then drives away. You know what's great about marrying an Air Force soldier? You get money. Vera smiling. The car continues driving. The ground starts thumping again. The car stops. Hey, why'd you stop the car? Keep moving, said Vera. I heard something, ma'am. It was really big too, said driver number 1. The ground continues thumping. The car starts shaking. Whoa, what the hell was that? Asked Vera. I don't know, ma'am, said driver number 1. Well, get out of the car and find out, said Vera. Driver number 1 gets out of the driver's seat, then looks around. I don't see anything, ma'am. Might have been a machine passing by, said driver number 1. Well, get back into the car then. Man, you can't find any good help anymore, said Vera. The ground starts thumping again. A gigantic turkey claw appears in the distance. Dear Lord, said driver number 1. The gigantic turkey appears, then roars. Driver number 1 screams, then runs away. Hey, 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 get back here. Why you running? Asked Vera. The gigantic turkey's right claw steps onto the ground next to the car. Vera looks out the opposite window. The gigantic turkey's left claw lands on the other side of the car. Vera is cowering. A tapping sound comes from the roof of the car. Vera looks up at the car ceiling. A hole slowly forms in the roof of the car. Vera continues cowering. The ground continues thumping, then echoes into the distance. Vera gasps, then slowly looks out all of the car windows. The bottom beak of the gigantic turkey goes through the windshield, then bites the roof of the car. The car roof gets ripped off. Vera looks up, then sees the gigantic turkey. The gigantic turkey drops the roof of the car, then roars. Vera screams. A car is driving, then stops. Agnes Fitzgerald appears, then looks. Herman, thank God you're here, said Agnes. What did you find? Asked Herman. Actually, all we found was that barrel. That was dumped. And it's burnt, sir, said Agnes. Burnt? Asked Herman, looking at Agnes. Yes, sir, said Agnes. Well, did you at least find Gustavo and Susie? Asked Herman. Actually, sir, we didn't. They seem to have vanished, sir, said Agnes. Vanished? Vanished? How do 2 of my people just up and vanish? Asked Herman. We don't know, sir, said Agnes. Anything else, Agnes? Asked Glenda. I sent my team to search the area, said Agnes. Footsteps are walking. Agnes, we found something, said soldier number 1. Footsteps are walking. What did you find? Asked Agnes. It's hard to explain. Plus, if I do explain it, you wouldn't believe me, said soldier number 1, stopping. So, where is this thing you wanted to show me? Asked Agnes. You're standing in it, ma'am, said soldier number 1. All 3 are looking around, then their eyes widen. Are you telling me this is a footprint? Asked Herman. Yes, sir, said soldier number 1. Someone took notice of it when another soldier climbed a tree to get a vantage point, then ended up seeing this, said soldier number 1. Whatever made this has to be at least 120 feet tall, said Agnes. How do we not see a creature that size roaming around? Asked Herman. Look around, sir. You're surrounded by trees 20 feet bigger than the creature. It could hide easily, said soldier number 1. Then where'd it go? Asked Herman. Driver number 1 continues running, then trips. The gigantic turkey is walking. Driver number 1 looks up at the gigantic turkey. And quat, no, and quat, yelled driver number 1 being stepped on. The gigantic turkey stops, looks around, then notices a building in the distance. The ground continues thumping. Cameron is drawing onto the clipboard. The TV screens go fuzzy then come back on. Cameron looks at the TV screens. What the hell now? Asked Cameron looking up. Both Gerald and Sammy are sitting against the building wall. Hey, like I said, you could still spend Thanksgiving with us, said Sammy. That's why I said. And quat, plan B, and quat, said Gerald. Hey, it's gonna be fine. Plus, we'll have more fun anyway, said Sammy. Yeah, we will, won't we, said Gerald. Willard approaches. Okay guys, your break's over. Can you get back to work? Asked Willard. Of course we can, Willard, said Sammy standing up then salutes. Willard. Gerald stands up. Anything for you, sir, said Gerald. Cameron is walking around the woods, stops then looks up at the tree. A camera appears hanging. Damn it. Those dumb ass birds. Now I need a ladder. Cameron walking away, opens the shed door, grabs a ladder then carries it towards the tree. The ladder is being set up next to the tree. Cameron climbs up the ladder then gets to the camera. The wires are hanging out of the camera. Jesus, what the hell did this? The ground starts thumping. What the hell? The ground continues thumping. All right, what's going on? Here, the ground stops thumping. Cameron is looking around. Must have been a machine again. Cameron grabs the camera then tries putting the wires back into it. The gigantic turkey appears behind Cameron. Cameron sees a giant shadow covering himself then slowly turns around. My God, that's a giant turkey, said Cameron. The gigantic turkey roars. Cameron screams. The gigantic turkey bites Cameron and part of the ladder, chews then swallows. Willard is walking, looks into the office. Then doesn't see Cameron. Cam, where'd you go? Asked Willard looking at the TV screens. The TV screens continue looking fuzzy. The ground starts thumping. The gigantic turkey's left claw appears. Willard looks up, sees the gigantic turkey then hides inside the office. The gigantic turkey is gobbling lowly, talking in the distance. Both Gerald and Sammy are carrying the last barrel. The gigantic turkey looks up then sees both Gerald and Sammy in the distance. Both Gerald and Sammy place the last barrel onto the ground. There. That's the rest of those, said Sammy. The ground starts thumping. Did you feel that? Asked Gerald. What? Asked Sammy. The gate breaks. The gigantic turkey is gobbling. Both Gerald and Sammy look up at the gigantic turkey. Oh my God, said Gerald. Willard is watching from the office window, looks down the road then starts running down. Rit. Gerald sees Willard running. And quat, Willard, and quat, yelled Gerald. The gigantic turkey turns its head then sees Willard running. And quat, sorry guys, and quat, yelled Willard. The gigantic turkey looks back at both Gerald and Sammy. Sammy, I'm really glad we were friends, said Gerald. Me too, said Sammy. The gigantic turkey leans towards both Gerald and Sammy then opens its mouth. Guns start firing. The gigantic turkey roars. A few cars appear. People appear to be firing guns. And quat, Gerald, and quat, run, and quat. Both Gerald and Sammy start running. The gigantic turkey steps, then misses both Gerald and Sammy. Both Gerald and Sammy run towards the car. Get in, said Herman. The car doors are shutting, then it drives away. The guns continue firing. The gigantic turkey roars, then starts hacking. What the hell is it doing? Asked soldier number 1. The gigantic turkey breathes out gravy from its mouth. The gravy lands onto the soldiers. The soldiers start burning and screaming. Oh my God, it just threw up gravy, said Gerald. That's disgusting, said Agnes. Just keep driving. Are you two all right? Asked Herman. Yes, said Gerald. Where are the other two? Asked Herman. Both. Gerald and Sammy shrug their shoulders. Willard is running, then stops. Ha 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 ha. I think I lost. Rit. Sorry, Gerald and Sammy. Sacrifice is the price. The trees are moving. The gigantic turkey appears, then roars. Willard screams, then runs. The gigantic turkey chasing Willard. Willard continues screaming. And quat, help, and quat, and quat, help me, and quat, yelled Willard, continuing to run. The gigantic turkey goes to bite Willard. Willard falls through a hole in the ground. The gigantic turkey misses Willard. Willard appears knocked out. The gigantic turkey is looking around, gobbles lowly, then walks away. The car continues driving. What do we do, Dad? Asked Gerald. First, find a safe place for you and Sammy. Second, try to find a way to destroy that thing, said Herman. How? Didn't we see that creature walking around before? Asked Sammy. Because I think it's a radioactive turkey. It grew that big because a barrel of toxic liquid fell into the stream. And the stream goes for miles, said Herman. Oh my God, that turkey is my fault, said Gerald. What do you mean? Asked Herman. I was driving the truck with the chemicals on it. A turkey came into the middle of the road, and I turned down the dirt path that led to the stream, said Gerald. It's not your fault. Accidents happen every day, said Herman. Sir, we have a problem, said Agnes. What now? Asked Herman. That, said Agnes, pointing. The gigantic turkey appears standing on the road, then roars. The car stops. We need to get out of here, said Herman. The gigantic turkey continues roaring. The gear shifts into reverse. The car drives backwards. The gigantic turkey chases the car. Shouldn't you turn around? Asked Gerald. No. I drive great backwards, said Agnes. The car continues driving backwards. The gigantic turkey continues chasing the car. Dad, look, said Gerald. Herman looks out. The windshield. Where'd it go? Asked Herman. The car stops. Yeah, where did it go? Asked Glenda. All five are looking around. Sammy looks out the side window, then his eyes widen. Guys, I found it, said Sammy. All five are looking out the side window. The gigantic turkey appears on the side of the car, then looks through the window. That's not creepy, said Gerald. Any ideas, sir? Asked Agnes. Drive, said Herman. Agnes shifts the gear into drive. The car drives away. The gigantic turkey roars, then chases the car again. It's on our tail, said Sammy. The gigantic turkey tries biting the car, then misses. Keep driving, Agnes, said Herman, cocking a shotgun. What are you doing? Asked Glenda. Gonna try to keep it off our tail, said Herman, rolling down the passenger window, then climbs out it. The gigantic turkey roars. Herman points the shotgun. The shotgun continuously fires. The gigantic turkey is being shot, then continues chasing the car. The car continues driving, then turns the corner. Herman slips the dangles out the passenger door. Dad, said Gerald. Hold on, Herman, said Glenda, grabbing Herman's leg. Herman looks up, then sees an upside-down gigantic turkey. The upside-down gigantic turkey roars. Pull me in, pull me in. Glenda pulls Herman into the car. Thank you, said Herman. What now, sir? Asked Agnes. Well, we need to figure out its weakness. Everything has a weakness, said Herman. Sammy looks back. Guys, it's not behind us anymore, said Sammy. Where'd it go, again? The car continues driving down the road. The gigantic turkey appears from the woods, then rams the car with its head. The car is rolling down a hill, then stops. All five are groaning. Is everyone all right? Asked Herman. Yeah, I am, said Gerald. Me too, said Sammy. I'm good, Agnes, asked Glenda. My leg's stuck, said Agnes. I'll get you out. Hold on, said Herman. The passenger door opens. Herman falls onto the ground, then crawls around the car. The doors are opening. Both Gerald and Sammy are crawling out of the car. Both Glenda and Herman are helping Agnes. Ow, ow, ow. I think my leg is broken, said Agnes. The seatbelt gets unbuckled. Agnes falls onto the ground, then groans. I got you. Come on, said Herman. Gerald turns around, then freezes. Gerald, are you all right? Gerald asked Sammy, looking, then freezes too. Dad, said Gerald. Hold on, I'm helping Agnes, said Herman. And quat, Dad, and quat, yelled Harold. And quat, what, and quat. Oh my, said Herman. All five are looking up. The gigantic turkey is staring at all five of them. Oh my God, said Glenda. What do we do? Asked Sammy. Run now, said Herman, picking Agnes up. All four start running. The gigantic turkey roars, the chases all four of them. Where are we going? Asked Sammy. Get to the base. It's just up ahead. Then we'll figure out a plan, said Herman. All four are running around the corner. The ground continues thumping. The gigantic turkey appears, then roars. Keep running, said Glenda, looking back, then trips. Glenda. Here, get everyone to the base, said Herman, handing Agnes to Gerald. Both Gerald and Sammy are running. Herman runs back for Glenda. Ow, my knee, said Glenda. The ground stops thumping. Both Glenda and Herman look up. The gigantic turkey gobbles lowly. I think this is the end, sir, said Glenda. Let's hope it ain't, said Herman. The gigantic turkey raises its claw, then goes to step onto both Glenda and Herman. Both Gerald and Sammy stop, then look back. The gigantic turkey steps onto both Glenda and Herman. And quat, no, and quat, yelled Gerald. The gigantic turkey looks up, then sees all three of them. Move, Gerald, said Sammy. Both Gerald and Sammy continue running. The base appears. Both Gerald and Sammy are running into the building. We need to think of a plan, said Gerald, putting Agnes onto the couch. But what? Asked Sammy. Maybe you could call in an airstrike, said Agnes. That's a good idea. How do we do that? Asked Sammy. Grab that telephone, then call this number. Agnes hands a card. Tell them there's been an attack. And when they ask what's the situation, you tell them those exact words on that paper on the wall. Agnes points to the wall. Sammy is pushing the buttons. Gerald sits in a chair. Sorry about your father, said Agnes. Thanks, said Gerald. He loved you very much. You were the one thing he talked about the most, said Agnes. I didn't think he did that, said Gerald. He did it every single day, said Agnes. Sammy lowers the telephone receiver. All right, I called it in. And they said about 20 minutes, said Sammy. The ground starts thumping. Let's just hope we make it that long, said Gerald, helping Agnes stand up. The gigantic turkey is banging against the building. Pieces of the roof are falling inside of the building. Come on, that way. There's a safety bunker in the basement, said Agnes. All three are running. A piece of the wall breaks, then falls. Agnes looks up. The support beam hits Agnes. Agnes is groaning. She's alive, said Gerald. We don't have time. I'm sorry, said Sammy, running. Gerald tries moving the support beam, then struggles. Gerald, run, said Agnes. The beak of the gigantic turkey goes through the roof of the building. Gravy comes out of the gigantic turkey's mouth. Gerald runs. The gravy covers Agnes. Agnes starts screaming and burning. Gerald is running down the hallway, then stops. Gerald, come on in here, said Sammy, standing in a doorway. The wall of the building breaks. Gerald stops. Sammy runs inside of the bunker, then shuts the door. And Sammy, and the gigantic turkey appears, then gobbles slowly. Gerald is looking up at the gigantic turkey. Come on then. Eat me. Already? You already took my father. So, fuck you, said Gerald. The gigantic turkey roars, then goes to bite Gerald. Guns start firing. The gigantic turkey looks up. Both Glenda and Herman appear. Gerald, get out of there, said Herman. Gerald runs down the hallway. The guns continue firing. The gigantic turkey gobbles loudly, then walks towards both Glenda and Herman. What do we do, sir? Asked Glenda. Pray, said Herman. The gigantic turkey roars, then goes to bite both Glenda and Herman. Both Glenda and Herman move. The gigantic turkey bites the ground, spits it out, then roars. A jet flies overhead. The gigantic turkey looks up at the jets, then roars. A jet fires 2 missiles. The 2 missiles hit the gigantic turkey. The gigantic turkey falls onto the ground. The jet flies overhead again. The gigantic turkey shakes its head, then stands up. The jet flies towards the gigantic turkey again. The gigantic turkey breathes gravy. The gravy hits the jet. The jet explodes. The gigantic turkey roars, then looks back at both Glenda and Herman. Well, that sucked, said Glenda. The gigantic turkey goes to bite both Glenda and Herman again. More jets are flying overhead. The gigantic turkey looks up, then sees the other jets. The other jets are flying towards the gigantic turkey, then fire their missiles. The missiles are hitting the gigantic turkey. The gigantic turkey falls onto the ground, stands back up, roars, then breathes gravy. A jet gets hit with the gravy, then explodes. The gigantic turkey breathes gravy again. The jets fly past. Look out, said Herman, moving Glenda. Gravy falls onto the ground. The ground starts burning. The gigantic turkey gobbles slowly, then stands up again. The jets are flying back towards the gigantic turkey. Fire away, said Pilar number 1. The missiles are firing, then hit the gigantic turkey. The gigantic turkey roars in pain, falls back onto the ground, then gobbles slowly. The smoke is slowly clearing. Gerald is looking at the gigantic turkey. The gigantic turkey is looking at Gerald, then gobbles slowly. Gerald continues staring at the gigantic turkey. The gigantic turkey closes its eyes. And Gerald, and yelled Herman. Dad, said Gerald, running towards Herman. Both Herman and Gerald are hugging each other. Thank God you're all right, said Herman. You too, said Gerald. The bunker door opens. Sammy walks out of the bunker. Gerald, oh thank God, you're all right, said Sammy, walking towards Gerald. Gerald punches Sammy. That's for closing the door. Sammy is holding his nose. And this is for you being alive, said Gerald, hugging Sammy. Sammy hugs Gerald back. What do we do with this bird? Asked Herman. It'll be one hell of a Thanksgiving feast, said Sammy. All four start laughing. Willard appears in the hole in the ground, groans, then opens his eyes. What? There. Where am I? Oh, I am so lucky this hole was here. Ow, my head. At least that bird is long gone by now. A rattling sound in the distance. What the hell's that? Asked Willard, looking down there. Hole. Pulls out a lighter, then lights it. A gigantic rattlesnake appears. Willard screams. The end.